right. What is up, everybody? How are we doing today? Hold on, I'm going to do this a different way. Bump this one down. What's up? What's up? What's up? How are we doing today? Yeah. Welcome back, everybody. Garrett says, sounding good. All right, good. We're on the right move here. Anti-Venom is here today. What's up? Airwick, what is up? Francisco, hello. And Georgie is here as well. And Omri is here. What's up, everybody? Thank you all so much for joining us today. Victor is here. Victor K is here. Man, we got the whole crew here. Luke SB is here. Welcome. Greetings from Poland. Nice to see you here. Chris Knudsen is here. What's up? We got everybody here. Thomas Dunn is here. What is up, everybody? Welcome to the October 10th episode of Model Monday Live. I am very excited to be here. I have my nice warm cup of coffee. Things are getting cold here on the East Coast, so JD52 WTF is here, ready to start the party. All right. That's what's up. Cool. All right. Well, welcome, everybody. Good vibes today. Yep, I agree with that. Anti-Venom. It's always good to have good vibes on a Monday. Back in the wonderful home state after my amazing tour of Texas. I'm very excited to share with you guys some details about that. So let's get into it here. I'm going to be solo today on this episode of Model Monday Live, and we're going to do some 3D CAD challenges. We're going to do some tips and tricks. We're going to talk a little bit about how the trip went to Texas. So let's go. So I got two CAD modeling, speed modeling challenges for you today that we'll get into here in just a moment. And I just want to remind you to please like and subscribe. I see that there are 14 people watching and 5 likes, so let's see if we can get that to match up. I'm going to go over to my monitoring computer over here and try and get that to match up. Let's see here. Boom. That's how we do it. When you're a content creator, it always pays to have a second computer with a second account that you can rely on to at least get 1 like for every video. So let's be sure to like and subscribe if you're here for the first time. I hope that you are ready to enjoy yourselves. If you like what you're seeing here, feel free to share and reshare. You can grab a screen capture, post it on your social media, let people know what we're doing here with these speed modeling challenges. And, of course, be sure to join the mailing list. If you go over to TooTallToby.com, right on the main page, there's a section where you can join the mailing list, and that will allow us to stay in touch with one another. If anything ever happens to YouTube, if it ever changes in a way that we don't like, we will still have another opportunity or another avenue to stay in touch with one another. And I want to, as always, thank everybody for the support. You can support this channel financially through PayPal, through Super Chat, or through Super Thanks. There's a Super Chat option down at the bottom of the chat today. If you're watching the recording, you can use the Super Thanks option. And if you prefer to use PayPal, you can go to the TooTallToby website and use the PayPal link there. Or you could also just PayPal directly to TooTallToby. I am TooTallToby on PayPal with the same icon, the little stickman figure with the glasses. What's up, Jason O? Greetings. What's up, Frank Laurent? Thanks for joining us here today, and welcome. And if you want to, another option you got there on the PayPal option, if you want to do like a sustaining donation, monthly donation, you can definitely set that up too to help keep the channel going. These are very important ways to keep things going because we put a lot of time and energy into this channel, and it'll definitely help to sustain us as we are growing to the point where we can sustain ourselves off of ad revenue. Not quite there yet, believe it or not. What's up, Betty Baker? Thanks for joining us today. Welcome, Betty Baker, user group leader, superstar of the SolidWorks community. I want to, of course, say thank you to just a couple of users who did throw out some super thanks. This is kind of like giving me a tip. You can use a credit card when you watch a video and hit on that little thanks button in YouTube, and that's how you can throw out a tip. So Jason O and Justin Murray both got some value out of these videos, the practice model with the angled flange and the real view stopped working video. So I want to thank Jason O and Justin Murray for that tip, for that financial support. Again, goes a long way to helping keeping the channel running. And on that same note, I wanted to say thanks to the crew over at SolidBox who are definitely helping to make Season 4 of Model Monday Live possible. You can visit them at mysolidbox.com. And when it comes to SolidBox, what they're really trying to do is make sure you have the best possible experience from your hardware. So there is nothing more frustrating than getting a new computer and ending up getting an error message like this the first time you open an assembly. And so what the team at SolidBox tries to do is, first of all, help you spec out the best possible hardware for your computer, like this one here, the Engineering Desktop 2. This is one that I'm considering purchasing. It is an impressive array of specifications. But beyond that, they get the computer in-house before they send it to you. And they make some tweaks to Windows, make some tweaks to the BIOS, and basically just to make sure that that system is optimized for an engineering CAD/CAM professional. And they're able to do this because they are engineering CAD/CAM professionals. The team at SolidBox really knows what they're doing when they're running these benchmarks. They really know what to look for to make sure you have the best possible experience from your hardware. So if you personally, or if your team at the office are in the market for new hardware, be sure to check out mysolidbox.com. Let them know that Toby sent you, and they will definitely take care of you. And I want to say thank you very much to Garrett in the chat for the $5 super chat. Appreciate it. And Chris Knudsen as well, and Thomas Dunn. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much. Let's keep this party going for as long as we can. And every little bit helps. And I thank you very much for those super chat donations, the support, value for value. That's how I like to think of it. Hopefully, if you see some value coming out of this live stream, you're going to throw some value back to me, and that's how we keep things going in a free and open market. That's what we all really truly dream for. So, all right. So with that, let's get into the live speed modeling challenges today. Here's how this works. I'm going to show you guys a 2D print, and I'm going to challenge you to turn that into a 3D model. And you're going to calculate the mass for that 3D model, and you're going to enter that mass into the YouTube chat. So basically, you can use any CAD system you want. It doesn't matter what CAD system you're using, as long as that CAD system will allow you to input density and output mass. You can use any CAD system you want. Thanks very much to Jason O for the super chat. Love that little dog sticker there. That's pretty cool. Good job, he says. Yeah, thank you. Good job to you too, Jason O. So you can use any CAD system you want as long as you can input density and output mass. Let us know in the chat if you're using something other than SolidWorks. Would love to hear from some other non-SolidWorks users, and let us know if you're using SolidWorks as well. Let us know in the chat what CAD system you're using today for this 3D CAD modeling challenge. What's up, Jed Hightower? Welcome. Make sure that when you answer this question in the chat, you use the specified precision, and the first person who gets the answer correct in the chat will be declared the winner. So I see some people saying SolidWorks. Erwick says he's using OnShape, OnSahape, and then OnShape. Corrected to OnShape. We allow corrections here. Victor using SolidWorks 2020. Steve, CTSUG, what's up, Steve? Using SolidWorks 2021. Anti-Venom, SolidWorks 2020. My favorite build is SolidWorks 2020 SP5. Love it. Ali using SolidWorks 2022. Good luck, Ali. Thomas Dunn using SolidWorks 2020 as well. Betty Baker 2021. Garrett using 2022 SP4. Okay. Coded my own modeling package. Only work from the command line in Linux. That is impressive. JD52. The units that we use for these challenges are always either IPS or MMGS, so inch, pound, seconds, or MMGS, and the materials are always one of these three materials here. So you've got density, 7,800 kilograms per cubic meter in plain carbon steel. You've got 1060 aluminum. You got ABS. These might be different densities depending which CAD package you're using, so just take a moment and make sure that you have the correct density. This density will also be listed on the title block. And the advanced rules are, this is meant to be a fun and good-spirited competition. I will make mistakes from time to time, so I might miss a dimension or a tangent edge or something like that on the print. And the Ivan exploit is permitted and sometimes encouraged. Really, it's usually discouraged, actually, if we're going to be technically accurate, because I try to create the models in a way that you can't really leverage the Ivan exploit that much. So I always say it's permitted and sometimes encouraged, but that's kind of a lie. The truth is I actually occasionally discourage it through the modeling methods that I use in the challenges. So for whatever that's worth. All right, let's flip over to full screen here. What's going to happen here is in just a moment, I'm going to show you guys this 2D print, and I'm going to challenge you to take a screen capture of that 2D print and then turn it into a 3D model. So as soon as I show the 2D print on the screen, you're going to take that 2D print, you're going to do a screen capture using Windows Snipping Tool or Snagit or Flag Shift S, or you can use MW Snap, whatever you want to use. Just grab a screen capture of what I show on the screen, and then you can attempt to model that. And this one, we're going to be going back a ways, back to the December tourney in December 14, 2020. So here we go in 3, 2, 1, go. So there's your challenge. What is the mass of this part in pounds? I know you guys love IPS. So what is the mass of this part in x.xx pounds? And the material is plain carbon steel. The units are IPS, and the density is 7,800 kilograms per cubic meter. What is the mass of this part in pounds? Do a screen capture. Use Windows Snipping Tool. I'll use Windows Snipping Tool and grab a screen capture of this myself. Use MW Snap. Use Control Shift S, Flag Shift S. Use whatever you want to grab a screen capture of this, and that way you can continue modeling as we continue talking. And of course, these challenges are essentially a derivative of, or in this case, are a direct example of the tournament, the TooTallToby 3D CAD speed modeling tournament. And we are in the thick of that tournament right now. The tournament started out with 32 people, so we had 32 runners who signed up. We did see a question earlier in the chat. If I go back up in the chat here, who was that from? It was from HackNeo64. That's awesome. It sounds like an N64 game. So HackNeo64 says, how do I register for the CAD tournament? I went to your site and couldn't find out how. So the short answer is that the registration is full. We had 32 spots open, and then we actually had 15 people sign up on the waiting list now. So you're not going to get into it for this year. The best thing you can do is stay tuned in to these Model Monday live competitions, and we'll let you know when the next tournament registration goes live. We're going to do a tournament in 2023 as well. And so I think with all the interest that we've been able to stir up this year, we'll have qualifications for that tournament, probably similar to what we've done in the past, where you can earn points during Model Monday Live. So the best thing to do is just stay tuned in to Model Monday Live, stay subscribed to the YouTube channel, and we will definitely announce when the next tournament registration goes live. Gotta take a sip of my afternoon coffee here. All right, great question from HackNeo. Inches are no problem if you're not having to convert to decimal or fraction. Okay, that's a good pro tip there from Jason O. We're going to have to make sure that in the future we include some 1/64ths and 5/32 dimensions on our prints. There were 12 different countries that registered and 5 different CAD systems. So we had SolidWorks, we had Onshape, Fusion 360, Inventor, and CATIA. We also had Key Creator, right? So we had 6. I don't know why this is 5. I just rattled off 6, no problem there. No FreeCAD this year, surprisingly. I always have the FreeCAD guys talking to me in the messaging, on the messages and responses to my videos, but no FreeCAD entered into the actual tournament this year. So hopefully we'll get some FreeCAD next year as well. So this is what the tournament bracket now looks like, and it's pretty exciting here because what we can see is that we're actually done with the black bracket here. We see Dr. Beljan, Victor, Quesadan, and Gerben all advanced through their round of 32 and are all going to be competing either on October 22nd or November 5th in the round of 16. So the black bracket is done. We made it through the round of 32. Congratulations to everybody who made it through there. I see Victor K is in the chat answering the speed modeling challenge as well. just kind of further exerting his dominance over the field in the world of 3D CAD speed modeling. We also saw that in the blue bracket, we have finished out the blue bracket as well. So we got Cam advancing, Allness advancing, Kachu advancing, and Walrus Gumboot, who just ran over the weekend on October 8th. So that's our blue bracket. Our blue bracket is completed as well. We see Jed, a.k.a. Walrus Gumboot, in the chat as well. That's what our blue bracket's going to look like for the round of 8. So I'm excited that we were able to get through that blue bracket this weekend. We've now established basically our top 16 for the blue bracket and for the black bracket. Sorry, I didn't mean to call that the round of 8. It's round of 16. Here we see the red bracket. So Neil Custard was one of our first runners, and he's also one of the earliest CAD SolidWorks users out there. He started back in the early days of SolidWorks and ran on August 20th and passed through. So he's going to go up against Ricardo J on October 29th. And then we also have Ivan on November 12th going up against either J, A, or Anti-Venom. We're going to find out this weekend whom amongst that group is going to pass through. If it is Anti-Venom, then what we're going to see is 4 different countries in that red bracket going into the round of 16. So I think that's pretty cool. And then finally, we've got over on the mustard-colored bracket, Tom Smith advancing. We've got Yaya TK advancing. We got Philo Mathis advancing. And this weekend, we're going to see Low 9 go up against Zach G, and we will find out who is able to advance through that one. Oh, we see Neil here in the chat as well. Neil, what's up? Welcome. Glad to see that you're tuning in today. Literally just talking about you, and here he is in the chat. That's awesome. All right, so be sure to check out TooTallToby.com. There's a calendar section in there where you can sign up and you can get the reminders added to your calendar. This is a great way to avoid missing the tournament. The tournaments do run at 1500 GMT every Saturday. That is 11 o'clock East Coast for me, and I'm sure it's different depending on which territory you're in. What's up, all day? Thanks for tuning in. Welcome, welcome. Thanks for joining us today. Great to see you in here, and it was great to meet you in person. I want to say last week, but I guess it was actually 2 weeks ago. It's crazy how this month went. All right, so for those of you who are trying to solve this model, I'm going to go through and solve it here, do a little bit of a live solve. I know that I get a lot of requests from people to do these live solves to help people understand what they may be missing. And so in the case of a model like this, we always want to ask ourselves, what is going to be the starting plane? What is going to be the starting profile? And I think, and just kind of generally speaking, you want to kind of unbuild the model in your brain. And so I think for me, the starting profile would look something like this. I would come down with a line this way, a line that comes across this way, a line that comes up to this point, and then I would create a line like this, and then I would create a line like this. That's probably going to be my starting profile. So starting plane would be the top plane. Starting profile would be to create some kind of a shape like that. Hopefully I have all the dimensions I need. I don't see an overall width here. I know I could go 0.75 plus 1.5 plus another 0.75 to get to 3. But okay, actually 3 is shown down here in this bottom view. And so once I have that shape created, then I would probably attempt to tackle this second shape. And in production, what I would do almost certainly is I would create the second shape like this. And then I would create a third shape that represents this kind of keyway. You keep your features separated because it makes it a lot easier to edit those features later, a lot easier to find them in the tree, etc. So that's kind of how I think I would approach this thing. Let me jump over into SolidWorks and we will see if that approach yields the correct mass. So let's go. Jump into SolidWorks here. 2020 SP5, my favorite build of SolidWorks. It's a close one. I like 2015 SP5 too. So I'm kind of I'm torn a little bit, You got your old girlfriend and your new girlfriend. Got to figure out which one you like the most. Or just, keep them both. That's good to do it too. All right, here we go. Top plane, begin a sketch. Oh, sorry. New part. Choose the correct template. In this case, I've got a template set up for IPS plain carbon steel. So I'm going to use that if I can find it. Here we go. top plane, begin a sketch, orient the view. Got to decide on the location for the origin. This part doesn't really have any symmetry, so it's kind of arbitrary. So I'll just drop the origin down here in this corner, move my mouse over, let go of my mouse. So I'm letting go of my mouse hand there. And then I'm going to type in the width of 3 inches, move my mouse up, let go of my mouse, type in 2 inches, move my mouse up at kind of an angle, let go of my mouse, 2.5. Move my mouse down in this direction perpendicular, so it's exactly above the origin, and then finish up by going down here. So you see I got that perpendicular relationship on that first pass, and so now the only thing left to do is put in the angle of 20, and I think that should fully define that sketch. S key, boss extrude 0.625 for the depth of that extrusion. That gives me that height, and now I'm ready to create that second shape. And in order to create that second shape, I'm gonna need to create a plane. Oh no, I don't need to create a plane, right? I can just sketch it on that tail end. So that's what I'll do. I'll just I mean, it's a little awkward just because the print is backward. So if you wanted to, and I do want to, what you could do is you could create a plane here at this end point by utilizing the reference geometry plane normal to an edge at an endpoint. It's a very easy workflow to generate a plane there, and because it's going to give me a little bit of a more intuitive view, considering this view here is coming in from the end, it might be worth it. It's so easy to do, it's probably worth it. It's worth it for me, that's for sure. So what I'll do is I will S key reference geometry plane. And by the way, when I'm using this S key functionality, there's not much that I've customized, but if you do want to see a video on how I customize the S key, you can find that on the TooTallToby YouTube channel. Just search for S key and you'll find it. But this one's out of the box. S key reference geometry plane, then I pick an edge, then I pick an endpoint of that edge, and then I right mouse button to finish, and that gives me a plane perpendicular to the edge at the endpoint. So now I can select that plane, begin a sketch, orient my view, and then I'll press Control-8 again to get oriented the same way that the print is showing. So it just makes it a little easier for me to work off the print there in that section view AA. It's really an auxiliary view, not a section view, but begin a line, and this line is going to be coming up at an angle of 60. So I'll just kind of eyeball it up there. And that line, how do we get that height? That's the question, huh? Well, this is horizontal, essentially, so I can just get the height from there. And I guess because I grabbed this from that location, this is going to project, like, straight in this direction. So I should be able just to make a coincident relationship between that point and this point, or even if I wanted to illustrate it better, this line and this point. So if I make those coincident, then it locks in that horizontal distance, because it needs to intersect, this edge that I'm creating this edge here, but when we go in this direction, it needs to intersect exactly here at that point. So I was able to establish that by taking this line, or the end point, and making it coincident there to that point. That seems like it's solid. And now I can go smart dimension from here to here, and that gives me that height, 2.25, and then I can finish that off with that angle dimension of 60. So it looks like this line and this line here, 60, and then S key extrude, and you can see currently the extrude is set to blind, but one of my favorite time-saving tricks is I can double-click on this surface, and then I can right mouse button, and that finishes that extrusion, leaving me with, that shape. So again, just to see that again, you go extrude, currently set to blind, don't click anything, just double click here and then right click. That finishes that extrusion up to that surface. So now pick a face, begin to sketch, orient the view, and we just need to create that keyway shape, which is something like this. Not midpoint. See, I picked up midpoint there, but you don't want to fall into that trap. That'll end up costing you some time trying to figure out what the heck just happened. And let's see here. These are also at 60. And that is off of, boy, that's a funky angle, huh? I mean, it's basically just parallel here, right? And then this guy here is 60 off of here. Boy, that's a funky angle. mean, the way it's made. Whoever made this drawing is crazy. So then you can see we can go here, 0.375 for the depth of that, and then a distance dimension from this point to this point of 0.625. And then finally a distance dimension on this line of 0.75. S key, extrude cut, right mouse button through all, right mouse button again. That gives us that little nice keyway there. And then select face, begin to sketch, orient the view, S key, slot. And we can create a slot that comes across here like so. And that's going to have a distance of center to center, 1.5, and a distance from this edge of 0.75, a distance to here of 0.5, and a radius of 0.25. And then S key, extrude cut, right mouse button through all, right mouse button, finish that up. And we can hide this plane, so click on the plane and hide it. We can S key fillet, and that's going to be at a radius of 0.5. And that'll be this edge, and not really a quick way to get both of them, huh? And this edge. Just pick them both. Right mouse button to finish that. And then maybe a little bit of renaming, so main base plate. And this will be plane for keyway, boss, and then this will be keyway, boss, and then this will be keyway, boss, cut, and this will be slot cut, and this will be end fillets. And, you know, the reason we do that is because if you have a very complicated feature tree and you want to find everything related to the keyway boss, you come up here to the little filter up top here. And once you get up to that filter, then you can type in keyway, and now you see the tree only shows items that have the word keyway in them. So it's just like a nice, quick way to figure out how to get through that feature tree when you've got like 50 million features in the tree. Okay, and so now we can go to evaluate mass properties, and our mass comes out to 4.12 pounds. What is the mass of this part? I'm going to say 4.12 pounds. Copy and paste that in there, and hopefully I got it correct. I don't know. Let's find out. Let's see here. Got some stuff going on in the chat. What do we got? Let's see here. JDF coming in saying, you guys are fast. Yeah, I agree. Let's see here. Only 6 minutes behind, says Trail Fazzy. Let's see here. Been seeing a lot of comments from you too in the videos, so thank you for that. Let's see here. Use normal to sketch on the face for the dovetail. Yep, that's good. Let's see here. Command search being part of the S key is one of my favorite recent enhancements. Yeah, I don't use that one too much, but I do know what you're talking about. Having it just right there in there. I guess obviously I don't use it too much because I'm still in 2020. Let's see here. It's going to be modeled by just 2 features. Yeah, you could just model the whole thing in 2 features. I try to, generally speaking, especially for production, I try to avoid having too much in one sketch or in one feature. Just for the reasons that I showed a moment ago. When you rename the features in the tree one by one, it just makes it so easy when you're doing a design review. The customer says, like, hey, can you make that slot a little wider or relocate it, or can you get rid of that slot, we don't need it anymore. It just makes it so easy to find those features in the tree and make those changes. Let's see here. The extrude 2 exploits. Yep, some Ivan exploits for sure. You could do the slot, you could do the dovetail as well with an Ivan exploit. Probably got it right. I am in last place, I am sure. No worries, Jason. Now okay, 1 for the base, 1 for the dovetail. Yep, 2 extrusions, you got it. 1 plane. You don't even need the plane really, because you can just do the extrude off of the end of that. That angled end is coplanar. Didn't realize the S key was a thing until about 4 years ago. I've mapped it to my space mouse. Nice. I use mouse gestures, but for this, it's too sluggish. I hear you there, bro. Some people use both, you know. If you really want to get pro, you can use both, and a space mouse, and virtual reality, and Wi-Fi. You can use it all, and Space Link, or whatever it's called, Starlink. All right. So what is the answer? What is the correct answer? Let's talk about that in just a second. if you like, oh, Neil Custard throwing out the pro move. Yeah, that's a good one. I forgot about that. So instead of making the plane here, like so, what we could do is just pick this edge and then choose to begin a new sketch. So choose a sketch icon up here, and then SolidWorks will actually create the plane there for you. You notice it doesn't show up in the tree yet, but it is there. Like it's showing you the plane, it's showing you the name plane 2. And then if I create the geometry and exit the sketch, then both the plane and the sketch are there waiting for me. So good call, Neil. That's definitely a pro move. Mind blown, says Victor. Mind blown. I agree. If you guys like these kinds of tips and tricks, be sure to support the channel. Like, comment, subscribe. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed. Be sure to like as well. We got 16 likes. We got 23 people in here. Let's see if we can get that 16 up to a 23. Be sure to utilize the Super Chat, Super Thanks, or PayPal options for financially supporting this channel. And, of course, be sure to share and reshare. You can take a quick snip of this episode. You can take a screen capture. You can post it on social media. And you can let people know what we're doing over here at Model Monday Live. What is the mass of this part? 4.12 pounds is the correct answer. And so we can see here, if we go back through our chat, who got it right first? I think it was Victor. We see it is Victor. Victor K. Good job. Good game, Victor. Eric coming in with 4.1213 as well. Ali coming in 3.72 question mark. Not quite, but good job getting an answer in there. JD52 coming in 4.12 correct. Georgie 4.12. Yes. Thomas Dunn 4.12. Yes. 4.12 from Trail Fazzy. We got Omri coming in 4.095. So close, so close. We got this user coming in with 4.12 as well. I'm sorry, I don't know how to say your name. We got Neil coming in with 4.12. We got Jason O rocking it with 2 monitors coming in with 4.12. Nicely done. We got TooTallToby coming in with 4.12 as well. Cool. All righty. Let's take a look at our next challenge. And again, if you guys like this, be sure to like, be sure to subscribe, be sure to support. Challenge number 2. Here we go. Let's go full screen. Challenge number 2 is once again going to be borrowed from the tournament in 2020. This one's called Draw Bar Pivot, and it's a little bit more complicated. So you guys got just under 30 minutes, probably about 25 minutes to finish this. Good luck. Thomas Dunn says GG Toby. Thank you very much, Thomas. Appreciate it. GG to everyone who got that answer. Here we go. In 3, 2, 1, go. What is the mass of this part in XXXX grams with a plus or minus of 5 grams? Wow, I was very generous back in the old days. That's a huge tolerance. So what is the mass of this part? You can take a look at the print. You can see all red fillets are radius 3, which is a total of 12 edges. Be sure you take note of that. I don't think that radius 3 is called out in the black and white print. It's only called out in the color views, the solid colored views. And this is in MMGS, plain carbon steel, and a density of 7,800 kilograms per cubic meter. So good luck to everyone. Egaz, what's up? What's up? Thanks for joining us, and welcome to the party. All right, hope that's enough time for you guys to do a screen capture. You can use Flag Shift S. You can use Windows Snipping Tool, Snagit, MW Snap, or whatever you prefer to use to do screen captures. A lot of features in this thing. You got to decide what's your starting plane, what's your starting profile, and then you have to get in there, get through, and try to create that model. What is up? Michael MM is cool. Welcome, welcome, welcome. He says, ahoys. I like that. It's a good way to get started. All right, let's talk a little bit about Texas. A little chat here with the super chat. Few God, it's weird to say a few weeks ago. I almost said a few months ago. It's so weird how time is going this year. A few weeks ago, we embarked on the SolidWorks Texas Users Group Tour, the Texas Tour. I was partnered with the crew from SolidBox. I got to meet some of them in person for the first time, and it was pretty darn epic. So the goal of this tour, really the reason why we did this, was because people have not been getting together in person. It's been quite a while for some of these user groups, and I think it's important. This is something that obviously is very close to my heart. The idea of the community, the idea of welcoming everyone, the idea of getting people together in person. The less time we spend together, the more I think we forget about our humanity, and I think that is not a path that we should embark upon lightly. So I wanted to get people together right from the start. I didn't want to take a break at all, but I, whatever it is, the world is the way the world is. But the sooner the better, as far as I was concerned, to get people back together in person. And so we decided to go into Texas and try to stir up some excitement about the user groups using tips and tricks presentation and a GD&T presentation. So that was kind of the spirit of this tour, was just to hopefully kickstart things a little bit, get the user groups back into action. Got a lot of great footage, a lot of great images, pictures, and a lot of great time spent talking to other people. Lots of hugs while we were out there on the road. And this is a little bit of a photo journal of that trip. So the user group tour started on September 20th in Houston, and it went over the next 2 weeks, ending on Wednesday, September 28th in Austin. And it was hosted by the independent user group leaders. Most of them are hosting on meetup.com. And we started in Houston with this guy, none other than Joe Lance. A lot of you out there know Joe Lance. And he is the user group leader for the Houston Users Group. We were able to get back together in person in an amazing auditorium that he has access to. And we were able to do some tips and tricks, share some connections, talk to people who we haven't had a chance to talk to in person yet. And again, you can see like I'm really into it there. I like this picture. I'm like, look, guys, this is important. We gotta understand tips and tricks about SolidWorks. Super important. So it was a good time for sure in Houston. And after that tips and tricks, talking about sketching, multi-body, importing, and lots of other cool stuff to help save you time in SolidWorks, we moved on to Kilgore, Texas. And this is where I was able to meet up with the crew from SolidBox. This is Chris Smith from SolidBox here, who gave an epic presentation on geometric dimensioning and tolerancing. And I learned a lot from this presentation. I learned a lot about what GD&T is, the different symbols that they use, what the different symbols mean, and why, and how this compares to traditional tolerancing. So a great opportunity to learn from the crew at SolidBox. Towards the end of the presentation, he talked about how the GD&T protocol evolves over time, and in the current protocol, there's no longer two of the symbols. Two of the symbols have been removed. And so he got a question at the end of his presentation when he said, does anybody have any questions? And so they were grilling him on the symbols that were removed. And I thought it was really funny that they got into this kind of like nuanced conversation about why these symbols were removed. So that was Chris's presentation. And then this is a picture that I actually posted on LinkedIn. I slightly modified it when I posted it on LinkedIn. You can see if you can spot the difference. But you can see these guys were doing it right. They brought beers to the user group. We had pizza. We had sandwiches. We had all kinds of good food there at the user group. And hopefully this will, kick things off, and we'll see more user groups from the Kilgore area, from the Northeast Texas SolidWorks Users Group. A lot of tips and tricks here on how to save time. And you'll notice this guy, this is Michael. He was the user group leader. He was taller than me. I couldn't believe it. I was like, what? How come nobody told me before I showed up? I could have worn like some extra thick shoes or something. But he was taller than me. And so I wanted to show these pictures side by side so you guys could see that he is clearly taller than me and that I was very jealous. All right, on to Granbury. So we were staying a little bit outside of Dallas on this tour, and we were able to go to a local restaurant in Granbury. And what I thought was so cool about this restaurant was that they didn't really have a menu. The waitress just came out and said, these are the things that we offer. We got chicken fried steak, we got chicken fried chicken, we got regular fried chicken, we got a fish, some type of a fish option, and then there was a fifth option. I don't even remember what that was because I knew what I wanted. I wanted the chicken fried steak. And so then when the meal came out, it just all came out on one plate, and there were sides that everybody got to share, and it was epic. It was like, I'd never been to a place like this. I love it. I love not having to think too much. Usually when I go into a restaurant, I don't look at the menu. I just think about what I want to eat, and then I order that, and this made it even easier. So this is my kind of restaurant for sure in Granbury. Shout out to Granbury, Texas. And then we went to the Dallas Users Group with Rick McDonald, hosted an awesome users group at the Dallas Makerspace. It was a pretty epic users group as well. It was cool to be in the makerspace and just see all the different, they have a very large makerspace there with a lot of different rooms, a lot of different opportunities to develop your skills and also to work on your trade. So it was very cool. And Chris Smith once again presented on GD&T. And, shared some of the differences between traditional tolerancing and geometric tolerancing. And then at the end, during the section on questions, he was once again grilled about why were these two symbols removed from GD&T. And I thought it was really funny how he had to answer that again when the symbols were removed. So shout out to Chris Smith, who had to answer that same question again. And it's not a simple answer. It was quite a grilling experience for him. And then I was able to do some tips and tricks, SolidWorks tips and tricks on how to be more efficient in the world of speed modeling. We had some of the crew from Go Engineer there, and it was awesome to see everybody again in person. A little discussion here of imported geometry, 3D interconnect. Pretty cool. Just want to mention Granbury one more time. Had a unique opportunity here in Granbury. This is me and Chris Castle and Chris Smith from the SolidBox crew, and we were able to attend this Sleepy Hollow experience. It was awesome. That's all I really have to say. If you have a chance to check this out, this Brian Cloudus experience, Sleepy Hollow in Texas. There's also one in Virginia. I know that's a very small subset of the people who are watching this live stream today, but I highly encourage everyone to go and see this. It was kind of like a play, but much more than that, much more audience interactivity, and just a really, really cool thing. Great way to spend a Friday night. Definitely time and money well spent. So huge shout out to that whole crew who put together that experience. It's the best word for it. It's like a play, but experience, kind of the retelling of the story of Sleepy Hollow in person. Okay, and then from there we went down to Corpus Christi, Texas, and on the way down we got to stop at a restaurant and get some amazing brisket. We had brisket, barbecue, all kinds of cool stuff on the way down to Corpus Christi. We got to meet another users group leader on the way down there, and that was none other than Shane Vest, another tall, very tall person. All these user group leaders are so tall. It's like I don't look that tall anymore when I'm in these pictures. But Shane works at a company that makes enormous equipment. They have huge machines all over the company. He was able to show us around a bit, and it was just really cool to see machining that's done at that scale, but also that's done to that precision. So it was great, and very thankful to Shane for taking us out on a tour of the facility, showing us what's what before we actually went to the user group itself. And then we went to the user group. This user group was hosted here at Del Mar College, and it was pretty epic. We had Chris Smith doing a presentation once again on GD&T. He got to the end, and once again he was asked questions about why there were certain symbols removed. It wasn't that grilling this time. He didn't get grilled on it as much this time, but I think he was a little bit more prepared to answer those questions this time after being grilled on those first two user groups. So he was able to answer the questions about whatever it was, concentricity, and I forget what the other one was that was removed. I'm sure one of you GD&T users out there will remember. Everything is bigger in Texas. Yes, I agree, Betty. Completely agree. Yep. And then we did some more tips and tricks. Toby's Tips and Tricks 2022. Another unique experience, learning all about SolidWorks and how you can save time in the wonderful world of SolidWorks. Here's a picture of me and Shane towards the end of the user group presentation. Him rocking the new TooTallToby shirts, which will be available for mass consumption very soon. And we finished up with none other than our friend CTSUG user group. We've got Steve here in the chat right now if you want to say hi to him. There he is. There's Steve at the beginning of the user group presentation, getting everything ready, making sure that everybody's having a good time, making sure everybody's fed. Here's me and Chris Smith from SolidWorks. Here is some more of the users. Lots of users. There's Rachel York up there in the upper right. We've got, there's me and O'Day. Or no, sorry, Chris Smith and O'Day. I think I switched out that picture. But there's Chris Smith and O'Day, who's also in the chat today. Awesome meeting you in person, O'Day. And really fun talking to you. And here's Steve getting things started right here for the Austin users group. I think they had one previous user group before this one since the break. And here's Chris Smith doing a presentation again on GD&T, sharing with everybody what GD&T is, getting to the conclusion, and once again getting grilled on why the GD&T standard removed some of the symbols. One guy said, I really like those symbols. I think it was Michael who was saying, I really like those symbols, or it might have been Guy. Can't remember who it was, but somebody was saying, I really like those symbols. Why'd they get rid of them? And so Chris was able to explain and articulate why those symbols are very confusing, and how there are some corner cases where things that aren't even cylinders could be considered concentric. And so I thought he did a great job of explaining that. I thought it was funny though that he got grilled over and over and over again on the same question. I was enjoying that. Every user group I was waiting for it, and I was smiling every time it happened. And then Chris Castle was able to, again, get the crowd hyped up, reminding people about how important it is to get everybody together in person. Awesome job of organizing this tour. You know, Chris is really the brains behind how this tour was all able to come together. So huge shout out to Chris Castle for putting everything together, organizing everything, and making it all truly come together and happen. And then I was able to get up there, do some tips and tricks on the wonderful world of SolidWorks, of sketching, of everything, everything that we did. Now here's a final picture. My camera doesn't have night vision, so this one's a little bit dark, but I think it's fitting. It was the end of a long tour together, and it's myself and Chris Smith and Chris Castle, who were all out on the road together. And then after that, I got back on the road myself and headed back to the East Coast for my long drive, and it was awesome. So that's it for the Texas Users Group Tour. I just figured while you guys are working on that challenge, I know that challenge had a few more features in it than the previous one. I thought you guys might enjoy seeing that little trip down memory lane from a few weeks ago. And that brings us back to today, just chatting. And a couple other things I just want to mention, everybody. First of all, I want to mention... thank you, Steve. Thank you all day. Glad that you guys enjoyed it. It was definitely my pleasure for sure. Just want to mention that if you or your company is interested in getting some tips and tricks from Toby, I do offer training on a lot of different topics. So all you got to do is reach out to me, hit me up on the TooTallToby website. If your company's looking to get some SolidWorks training, whether it's new training, new employees, or whether you just want to go through and do some efficiency training for existing employees, maybe you want to get your certifications, get your whole team certified. Whatever it is that you're looking to do, I'm sure that we could work together and put together a good, solid training class for you, whether it's in person or whether it is remote, virtual, online, whatever it is, we can make it happen. So let me know if your company needs some additional collateral to help make it happen. I have white paper. I have more of a flyer. So whatever it is that you guys are looking for in the world of training, I'm sure that I can help provide it, and it will help me as well. We can help each other. So that'll be a beautiful thing. Just go over to the TooTallToby page, TooTallToby.com, the website. Click on Contact. Eventually, I'll add some courses in here, too, that you can do, kind of like self-paced courses. Still working on that. Been working on that forever, it feels like. And then as far as value for value, I hope you're getting a lot of value out of this channel. If you are, feel free to use Super Thanks or Super Chat. And one way that you can get some value is by taking advantage of some of these practice models I've been posting. So I've been going through posting these. I think I have 9 up there already, or I will have 9 up there tomorrow. And we're going to keep going. I'm going to keep throwing up these different practice models that give you a chance to practice your skills, regardless of what CAD system you're using. You can go through and you can practice similar to what we're doing here today on Model Monday Live. And be sure to like, comment, subscribe. I always like to remind us. I know I have multiple sides of the same thing, but that's because different people join throughout the live stream. So if you've been here for the whole time, then I apologize for the repetition. But this is how we do it when we're trying to start up a company. What's up, Sebastian? Welcome, welcome. Thanks for joining in. Good luck with that answer. We'll see if it's correct. And be sure to like, comment, subscribe, Super Chat, Super Thanks, PayPal, share, and reshare. And I want to say thank you to all the Super Chat users who have been supporting me since the last Model Monday live stream, which was Cam Smith on September 12th, Thomas Dunn on September 12th, Jason O on September 12th, Chris Knudsen during the September 24th tournament, Chris Castle during the tournament, Jason O during the tournament, Nick Hull during the tournament, Ivan during the tournament. Thank you all so much. Very much appreciate that support. The financial support goes a long way to keeping the doors open and keeping the channel going strong. If you're getting value out of this channel, feel free to send me some value back, whatever that value is to you. You know, it may be different from one person to another, and that's totally fine. But whatever value you can send back. And if you want to do a sustaining donation, you could do a monthly donation. That'll definitely help to keep us going when times get a little bit slower. It'll just kind of set it and forget it. And that way we can make sure we keep this channel going. All right, let's take a look at our answer for number 2. So this thing was called draw bar pivot. I'm not sure how exactly I would do this one, but what I would probably do is I would probably start out by creating this shape. Probably just half of it. Shape like this. Maybe. And then I would create this vertical plate here. And then I would create these 2 ribs here. And then I would add all the fillets and these holes. And then I would do mirror all. And then I'd probably add this last hole last because I'd probably forget about it. Because that's usually what I do when I have a center hole like that. I usually forget about it and then add it at the end. And I'm like, oh, crap, I forgot. So let's see what we got as far as the participation from the chat. Here we go. Roll back up here. Looks like Victor K came in with 3190. Okay, nicely done, Victor. We'll see if that's correct in just a moment. Eric coming in 3190. Ali coming in 3189.6. We'll round that up to 3190. Ali revised to 3190. Nice. Neil Custard coming in 2518. A little bit of a variation on that one. Georgie coming in 3190. Neil Custard revising to 3190. Nice, nice. We got JD52WTF coming in 3190. Nice. We got our friend from earlier. Wait, what was his name again? Egaz. We got our friend Egaz coming in here with 2902. Nicely done. We got Sebastian coming in 3190. We got Tralfazi coming in with 2968. We got Thomas Dunn coming in 3184. We got All Day coming in with 3190. And Jason O asking for a timeout. Sure, yeah, we can pause the live stream for a few minutes and give you a chance to finish that one up. No problem. All right, let's see what the answer is to this. So the correct answer is 3190 grams. So congratulations to Victor K. Victor K, who's made it into the round of 16. Just smashing it today, getting the first answer on both of these challenges today. GG to Victor. Guys, be sure to give Victor a GG in the chat. And GG to everybody, to our winners, and really to everybody who was here today who participated. I hope that you guys got a lot of value out of today's live stream. If you did, be sure to share the live stream with other SOLIDWORKS users. Be sure to go back into the recording and add a quick comment. That definitely helps with the SEO as well. And thank you all so much to the most amazing chat ever. You guys really are the best. And thank you to all the user group leaders who are here today. Special shout out to all the user group leaders who are here today. Love what you guys do. And if I can ever be of assistance, let me know. Even if we need to do a remote presentation, we can make it happen. Or maybe I can hop in the van and drive to your town maybe we can make that happen as well. We'll talk about it. We'll figure it out. See how much training I can get on the books during Q4, and then we can maybe make that more of a reality. Let's see here. Next week, we got Model Monday Live. Nope, I'm going to take off next week because we're going to be managing the tournament, and we're going to be transferring from round of 32 down to a round of 16. So I'm going to have a lot on my plate to organize that. But we are going to do the tournament this Saturday on October 15th. This will be the finals of the round of 32. So be sure to tune into the tournament this Saturday, October 15th, 1500 GMT, which is 11 o'clock East Coast. And I want to thank you all so much. And I will see you guys, I guess, on Saturday and maybe in a few weeks on Model Monday Live once again. You guys are the best. Have a great rest of your day today. Have a great rest of your week. And I will see you all in a few weeks on Model Monday Live. And, of course, I'll see you all in the comments and in the chat. See you guys. Take care.